So the congregation Don and I belong to is a mission congregation. And we're establishing ourselves. And so what we would do is we'd go door to door, knocking on the door and inviting people to come and worship with us. And so I was out with another person, or let's call her Lisa. Well, Lisa and I went together, and Lisa said, Pastor, I've never done this. I don't want to do it. I said, look, I understand. I know how intimidating that is, but we'll be together. I'll be at your right side. Don't worry about it. So she and I went out, terrified. She and I walked up to the first door and knocked on it, and it was a person who said, well, thank you, I'm of the Buddhist religion. And she didn't know what to say, and we said to her, well, all are welcome at our church. You are able. We went to the next one, and they were unchurched, and she and I invited them to our church. That's the message today in the book of Acts. Remember now, there's the resurrection. And what happens is after the resurrection, the church is planted. That's the book of Acts. The book of Acts is setting the church now. And so this is the first convert into the faith, Cornelius. And he's a man of stature. He's a man who has lived a good life. He's a Gentile. He is one who has been a very caring person, one who has who's prayed, who's gone to the temple. But then he has a vision. Then what happens to him is he sees God coming to him in an angel. And God says to him, come and be with me. And so he said to him, send 2 men, and I will go and talk to Peter. Peter is a Jew. And Peter was what we would call the institution church, the person who went by the rules. And he thought, no, nothing can really go outside the rules. And he had a dream. And that dream said to him, it was very different. It was like a sheet that had animals, and there were unclean and clean. And God said in this vision to Peter, accept these people, accept all people, not just Jews, but everyone. That's the message we too share with people. We share that this church, that this Christianity is for all, for people who are different color, for people who different languages, for people who are outside the box, as Sarah said. I have a story to tell you. I did a lot of going door to door. And one day I went, and this was in Nevada, went to a door, and on the side I knew that the person was Jewish. And the person came to the door, and I introduced myself, the name of the church, and invited her and whoever was in the house with her to come to church. And she told me she was Jewish, but she said, do you know, I would like you to pray for my husband. He just had a stroke. He's not doing well. Would you pray? Do you hear that? That's God working in all people. A Jewish person asking a Christian to pray. That's who we are today. We are people who include all people. We are in our neighborhoods. We need to let people know. I think one of the things that I see in people is they don't know who is our God. Who is this God that we believe in? So many times they have an idea that is outdated. The idea is one of judging, of looking down upon others, not being accepting. And I think that's what Luke is saying in the book of Acts. He's saying the faith is inclusive. The faith is to reach out to all persons. So through Cornelius, the first convert, just like you and me, as we come to the communion table today, we are sent out to be good neighbors, neighbors who invite people to church to say, wow, you should see what's going on in our congregation, to support people and bring them to know Christ. So that's our message from Luke through Cornelius, that the gospel is for all persons, and that we are called to go to all people. We are called to be missionaries. I'm amazed that we as a church have sent missionaries all over the world, to Japan, Indonesia, and to Africa. But today, missionaries are coming from those countries to us. And so we can be inspired by them to go and to reach out to others and invite them to be part of our communion, part of our church. May God bless you in that reaching out. May you be like Cornelius and be one of those who says, yes, Lord, I'm going to follow you and reach out to those who have no church. Amen.